our outlook change sort of signals our expectation that we expect some of these strengths and challenges to change in a way that its credit risk will be reduced to the level of Baa2. But at this current point, and I'll point to three sort of structural challenges that we still see. One is infrastructure. We've heard a lot of announcements, and our expectation is that these announcements will be implemented. But we're waiting to see how that implementation actually proceeds. Two, on inflation, this has been a constraint on India's rating for a while, and we've seen inflation performance improve, but we do see risks along the way, and the monsoon, for instance, is one of them. So what we're waiting to see is how policies address the risks, both from agriculture, both from sort of supply-side constraints on manufacturing, so that inflation is sustainably reduced. Monetary policy has done its job so far, but what about the longer term? That's the other one. And the third issue is conditions in the banking system in India. We find that both asset quality and capitalizations are weaker than peers, and we're looking to see how these will be addressed over the outlook horizon.
You've also said that the monsoon shock is a near-term risk. Can you explain that, and what kind of impact do you foresee a below-par monsoon will have on inflation?
A near-term risk, by that we simply meant that it's a risk for this year. So we see it as if it crystallizes, if the monsoon is indeed subpar, we'll see it in the next 2 or 3 quarters, whereas our rating horizon is, of course, several years. So that's what I meant by near-term. And the way it will crystallize is that likely the growth improvement that many are expecting this year in terms of GDP acceleration may not happen, and the inflation may be harder to control over this year. So that, I think those are the two risks from the monsoon.
Two important things that I want to talk about is firstly the clarity with respect to the MAT issue is concerned, because investors are very jittery with respect to this. Secondly, the government has not been able to very successfully be able to talk to the opposition with respect to passing off the land bill in the parliament. Do you think these are the two big risks that we're seeing in the near term?
Sure. Our, like I said before, the Baa3 rating does incorporate the fact that there is uncertainty about tax policy, and there is difficulty in passing structural reform that affects a large variety of people with different interests. And I think you're seeing that play out now with both these policies that you mentioned. What we do expect is that some sort of, as has been done with certain other policies that have actually indeed gone through Parliament, some compromises might be reached. In some cases, some policies may see passage and some may not. What we're going to look at is the holistic picture. To what extent is tax policy clearer now than it was before? How are investors responding to it? What exactly is the regime that governs land acquisition now? And how is infrastructure and other investment proceeding? So we will look not just at the passage of particular policies, but the impact and the workarounds that are done.